Peace. Hotep. What's cracking? Big and back being bold. Welcome to, I don't know what motherfucking episode it is, but it's the Nubian spot. You heard? You feel me? With the Royal Lord of Upper Maxim. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We got the homie, what's your name?
Man, you know what it is. This is the cool Baba
Yeah.
in the building in Wombe.
I see. And today, our guest is, I'm going to call him D from Mogul Media, because where I'm from, I would never call a grown-ass man Big D. You heard?
Let's talk about that shit.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Say it is what it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about you being 6'5", 300 pounds, nigga, you D.
Nigga say it is literal, though. If we being literal, yeah, okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For real. I say to the ancestors. So before we get started today, I want to take out some time to personally thank everyone that's helped me thus far on my musical journey.
That's
heavy. That's heavy.
All the DJs, I'm going to specifically say Leo J and Mike B, because them some of the first ones I ran into
already
doing open mics. These studios, one of the first studios I recorded at way back in the day.
That's what's up.
DJ Snake, who mixed my first album. Mousequake, who mixed my second album. Rob Ski and Galaxy 9, who put me on mad shows.
Shout out to them.
Lorenzo, who put me on mad shows. You know what I'm saying? All the writers of the Dallas Observer, Dallas Morning News, D Magazine. DJ Menace for sure, throw me mad alley oops, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else, if I forgot your name, started to my mind and not my heart, but we appreciate the love and support. You feel
Shout
me?
out to Lorenzo.
Yeah. Shout out to the big homie.
Big homie.
We're going to get into D, pause.
That was wild.
See that
Pause.
like, whoa, that's some wild shit. Where you from, homie?
Hey, Detroit, man. Joy Road, Exit 9, West Side.
That nigga went straight to the
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Totally like it was. Right?
That's how you know a
Straight out of
nigga
his
from where you
study
from.
zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nigga just
yeah.
claim that shit.
That nigga went straight to the block.
Nigga don't
that's
give a
right.
damn. You need a specific breakdown. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
block, this street, this
Yeah.
location.
Nigga, I just automatically start thinking about guns and shit.
Hey, you know?
You should.
You know what I'm saying?
So
That's what it is.
how was it for you coming up in Detroit?
You know what, man? The shit was cool. It was a great time, man. You know,
Right.
thankfully, being in even though I was in the hood, my block was like a very village-led block. Like, most of the people on the block worked at the plants.
So they knew everybody knew everything.
Everybody knew each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, all the kids on my block, we went to elementary school and graduated high school together.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
So, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we had some tragedy. We had a couple of, my best friend, he was my nephew. He was 3 weeks older than me. Shit, he got murdered 2005,
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh, wow.
So we seen that a couple of times, but for the most part, bro, it was a village. Like, you would get your ass whooped by Mr. Ford down the street, Mama Jones, across the street.
Feel like we missing that right now.
Yeah, we don't have it. I'm living in Mansfield in the burbs, bro, and I barely talk to my neighbors.
You don't even know them.
Nah,
They
you
know
know, you
what
come
they
out,
do.
they be cutting their grass. You be like, hey, you just keep it moving.
Facts.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit crazy.
They don't want to know what the fuck you did.
So how old was you when your nephew passed?
Shoot, man, 2005, I was 21.
21.
We was about to turn 21.
Okay.
His birthday August 2nd, mine August 26th. He got killed in May.
You was in school? Grab that.
Yeah, I was at Bowling Green playing ball.
Bowling Green. You went on the football scholarship?
Yeah. Urban Meyer is my coach. My
I was
first
just
one.
going to say, you was there when Urban Meyer was there.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
facts.
Oh, damn, for real? That's cool.
I didn't even know he came from Bowling Green.
That was his first head
I
coaching
knew
job.
about them only
Very
because they had
first one.
them ugly ass uniforms on the game. Them niggas like the Cleveland Browns of the goddamn NCAA. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Damn. So
Yeah.
what you played? What, left tackle?
Played tackle and guard. Finished off at guard. Made all conference.
Okay, you was out there balling.
Yeah, doing my thing.
What's up? You took it past that? Did you?
Yeah,
College?
Played college.
Pro?
Played in an All-Star game. College All-Star game. Came out undrafted. Did camp with the Redskins. Then shit was down with New Orleans. Got cut. Camped down there. Did a bunch of more workouts, man. Played arena ball for a minute. And walked away from the shit. Moved to Texas 2010. Here
Brought
2
you
years.
to the city.
Man, I used to come here, like my pops from East Texas, from Nacogdoches.
Okay, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where I went to school at.
Yeah, we're very familiar with that.
I went to the Nasty Neck, man. Shout out to SFA, man. Shout out to all the good whores out there on campus. You know it. We love you.
Yeah.
Not the whores.
But when I was a teenager, man, I used to come out here. With my cousins, and I always say, like, yo, when I get grown, I'm going to move to Texas.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So my mama from the boot, my daddy from Texas. I was born in Shreveport, but we moved to Detroit when I was 11 months. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. That's all you know.
So in Detroit, though, let's talk about the musical aspect.
yeah.
How did that influence you?
Man, a lot, bro. Shout out to my guy, Street Lord Rook. I actually just had him down here. Did an interview with real life street stars on all of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, shout out to BMF too.
Facts.
But growing up in Detroit, bro, at that time, Street Lords on the street side and the music side had that shit rocking.
Right.
My guy Street Lord Rook, he had made $40 million in weed in 10 months. That's cool. And he ended up getting the biggest weed indictment in Michigan history at that time in 2002. Shout out to my partner Troy, he BMF, he got bammed up. But I started seeing BMF more so start to show up like 2003, 2004 in Detroit after the Street Lords kind of went down a little bit. And you know what I'm saying, they started getting money. But the element, man, of the whole city, bro, the rap game, man, we had Blade Icewood, you know what I'm saying, that we had the whole Boss Up Get Money, Blade Icewood, Cheddar Boys, Street Lords, you know what I'm saying, Rock Bottom, Big Hurt, Trick, Royce.
That's crazy.
Royce
a lot
been
of people
killing
you
it.
naming, I just heard Big Sean name on that Drink Champs
Yeah.
video. I just watched. That's crazy.
So it was a pretty easy transition for you to come to Dallas, right, and just kind of do your thing. You know what I'm saying, in a sense.
Yeah, and no, I mean, shit was weird, bro. Like, at the crib, you know what I'm saying, I was doing music, but in college, I was known more for doing music. That's when I was doing beats, and I was doing...
Hold on, you made music?
Yeah, I was more on the producer side. So, like, if you ever came across my college teammates, they be like, Big D always had the studio set up wherever he was. So, I was more on the
Is
production.
that why you started the studio here?
Nah, actually, what happened was, when I moved here in 2010, I was done with music. So, all my equipment was in my auntie garage. My cousin C Green was like, hey, my partner got this whole company. They doing a thing on the party scene, but we came across these buildings that got studios built in, and can we use the equipment? I'm like, yeah, nigga, whatever. I ain't doing shit with it. Do it. Coming to find out, my cousin C Green, best friend, who he was talking about, Sean Cotton. And so they took my equipment and went over on Royal Lane. That's when they opened up that spot in there with my equipment. And that's when I got introduced to Sean. And this is when Cotton was doing them parties, calling booty and doing the recaps.
Facts.
He wasn't even interviewing yet.
Remember them days?
Yeah.
Been to
Shout
a
out to
couple
the
of them parties.
homie Black Pat, too. They was
Yeah.
fucking around together
Yeah.
back there.
Hell yeah.
So you was in the mud. You got in the mud when you got here, basically.
Man, I
And
think I
got
just,
yourself in the position that you're in now.
I think the universe or God or
That's
whoever it
what I
was
finna
just
say.
put that
Sound
shit.
like you was really minding your business, and you
Right.
just ended up.
But you said ain't no God, so we ain't gonna.
Well, I ain't saying he ain't no guy.
we
Whoa.
gonna get
See,
to-
you hit me with the Charleston White. That's what he said. I had to wait. No, I never said that.
You just said he ain't meddling.
Nah, I'm
with it.
fucking with him though. You know what I'm saying?
So what made you decide to start the Mogul Media Studio?
I think that was the best and the dumbest decision of my life, right?
Oh,
So
let's talk about that.
the studio doing their thing. My cousin like, man, you got to come up to the studio. I'm like, bro, I ain't doing this shit. So I ended up getting a job in Louisville. And the studio ended up only being like 6 miles from the job. So my cousin said, pull up. When I walked in and I saw the shit, I'm like, it's dope. I'm like, but y'all niggas don't know how to record nothing. So next thing you know, I'm in there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's when I started building a relationship with Sean and everybody. I'm in there. But I'm like, bro, clientele coming in. I'm working with Street. I end up meeting Boogie. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to work with them.
Yeah.
Start managing them, just put them up under me. But I was like, but I ain't about to have my studio, Say Cheese Music Studio. It need to be my own shit. And that shit was the dumbest shit I ever did. I said, but it's smart. Because at least I ain't under the coattail of Sean.
Right.
But that studio would have been crazy if I would have kept the name Say Cheese, because everybody was coming there getting an interview anyway. If you look at every early interview from Say Cheese was in my studio.
You just fucked me up with that perspective too. And then, because for me on the outside looking in, that's crazy because you always look like the big homie though. You feel me? Because by the time I came around, it was like that was your studio and they was recording in that hoe. You You know what I'm saying?
Technically, I came and kind of deboed it.
Yeah, you did what you just said.
Yeah.
It was like y'all could use my shit. Then you came and see some shit. Was like, oh no, nigga, put my name on the wall, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you should have, when you saying you should have, but I think everything happened the way it's supposed to.
Because the relationship still stayed working. Even when I moved, Sean always got a key to the studio, and when I moved to my second location, if you seen the walls with the wood palette on the back wall,
That's where I was interviewed.
That's why that was my second studio. So Mo 3, Yellow Beezy, Go Yayo, Trap Boy, everybody. Yeah. I said that became the most famous wall in the city.
Yeah.
C Struggs, everybody came through that.
Yeah, rest in peace, C Struggs.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that shit is crazy. I never even so them the only two artists we ever managed, Street and Boogie.
Yep.
And both of them retired.
And Pluto. MC on Pluto.
I forgot about Pluto.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Is Pluto still rapping?
Yeah, he is when he want to. I tell him he fucked up. Every time I got an interview with him when I got on his ass in the interview, like, you fucked up, letting me go.
All your artists retired.
Yeah, Boogie doing his thing though.
He still around?
Rapping? No.
Yeah, no. But for business wise,
business wise, my guy doing his thing. I think my whole passion with them, bro, is them niggas is reckless. Yeah, Leo is reckless as fuck.
Shout out to Leo. Leo is reckless.
Reckless as hell,
got
man.
That chaotic energy. You know what I'm saying?
I see Leo see a white.
That's my brother. Yeah. That's how I met him.
Leo, a white dude. We in Denton performing, street on the stage performing. Some random ass white dude come in the bar, street performing. All of a sudden, the white dude come by the stage. Leo jumps off the stage and start punching this white dude in the head. I'm already telling him, like, nigga, I'm not dealing with no more bullshit. Leo just start punching this dude in the head. Gun, street, and I managed gun too.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all them niggas.
You had a squad at the time. All the boys was bubbling too.
Yeah, he was doing their thing. Street had it, was signed to Flocka. That's how Lou Dean got with Flocka. But
I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was real. Flocka really fucked with Street.
Yeah, Street nice. He one of my favorites from the city.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sean spoiled him though. I told Sean it's your fault. That Street can't be better.
You think so?
Yeah. And I tell Street that all the time.
You think that made him lazy, that being in that position?
Putting him on them lists. Putting him on top lyricists all the time, and you ain't never make him just grind. We know he dope, but you ain't make him earn it.
Yeah.
And Street know I ain't got to do shit because if Say Cheese drop a list, I'm on the list.
I feel like Sean was doing what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
too,
for sure.
You know what
For sure. You looking out for your partner.
Yeah.
But you also got to.
Street just maybe could have did some things to take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't going to do it. He didn't do that shit. That's my guy.
Motivation.
Shout out to the homie.
That's my guy, though.
It take motivation, though. You got to be motivated.
Yeah, man. You got me. I don't know how much more motivated you can be. I got you on official artist at South by Southwest. I got you doing official artist A3C. And
they had free studio time?
Yeah, free studio
That's
time.
all I would have needed.
Them niggas had a key.
I'm busting.
They said they had a key.
They had a key. Then I had to do Diddy on them and shut the studio down. That's why I got kicked out the building.
Which one?
The first one on Royal Lane.
Oh, for real?
Because Street and Gun getting into it with some Mexicans in the parking lot, and they was like, "Hey, y'all niggas gotta go."
It's getting too heavy.
They got us up out of
Why you let the last one go?
Shit, bro. You know what? My passion was out of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because, I like the engineering and the producer side of it, but as the studio became more popular, I started focusing more on business. So I'm looking at books. I'm looking at how to get more clientele. I'm looking at how to make the studio better. And the whole reason I had, I got into it or stayed in it is because I had artists. It was supposed to be a safe haven for them. I know if you here, you ain't somewhere doing some bullshit.
Right.
I have no artists, and I'm just dealing with the public.
Yeah, you had the sense of responsibility.
Yeah, so it was such a
that's what's up.
quickening on my spirit. Like, hey, I'm good. It's a little quickening on my spirit. Like, bro, I done ran my turn, and I stepped away from it, and I left in December 2019, and then COVID hit in March.
Man, you was right on time.
Man,
boy.
I was so happy I ain't have to deal with that shit.
That nigga was right on time.
Shit,
Then you transitioned to doing
could have caught you a couple checks though.
the blogs and interviews.
Yeah, but you remember I had like the little podcast.
Oh, you
At
did?
the-
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
at the
studio.
podcast room at the
Yeah,
last
it's
one.
at the studio. So I was doing
I
that,
forgot about that.
and I talked to Sean. I was like, you my guy. And I was like, but I don't want you to feel like I'm stepping on your toes because I want to kind of do the interviews like kind of your style, like the person in front of the camera. I didn't want to be on the camera. And I was like, so you my mans, I just want to make sure I get your blessing. And he was like, cool. And he was my first person I ever interviewed.
And that was a blessing too.
So
Don't too many people interview him.
Facts.
And shout out to Sean Cotton, man, because he done did something major from the city. Regardless of how I might feel about you personally,
how you feel, man?
ugly ass face, huh?
I just left his house right now.
How do I feel about him?
Yeah,
I don't know him enough personally to really have a feeling about him.
Got
know
you.
what I'm saying?
He's a great guy,
I
man.
can speculate
What you speculate?
from afar. Truthfully,
This is
it's certain individuals that validated that platform in its infancy that didn't get no love when it took off.
like who?
We ain't gonna come on now.
Come on, man. Who?
You're going too far. It's a certain group. It's a certain group of individuals, specifically street artists, that validated that platform in the beginning when he was transitioning from just doing them paid interviews. And he started going into the hoods and fucking with the street artists when he really transitioned away from doing the parties. When he was doing the parties, he was still doing interviews, but it was more so like the hipster crowd or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and the freestyles and shit.
Right, and when he went into the streets in the city, that kind of gave him that stamp and the blueprint to go do that in other cities too.
Okay.
But those artists here, I felt like gave it that validation. You know what I'm saying? For it to be accepted in the streets in other markets. But none of them artists benefited from his rise. Now then too, so boom. I can say, I don't know what they did or how they played their relationship with him. Personally, they could have dropped the ball somewhere. They could have did some whole ass shit to him behind the scenes that made him stop dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the optics from afar.
I can feel that. That's what makes it hard. The conversations I used to have with Sean at the studio, don't accept nothing for free. Because free will be your biggest debt in your life because he could never repay those guys.
Yeah.
Let's be granted. Say Cheese is on a big ass stage where Charlemagne and all of them. What can he do to repay those guys? They will always forever feel like he's in debt. And why would you put to be in debt is to be a slave? Why would you enslave yourself to somebody a debt that you could never repay?
Never repay. Yeah.
So I'm quite sure if he put them on his platform at that time, it was mutual. It was mutual. He was a pioneer in the digital space. I'm quite sure them street cats was still probably working shit in the streets.
Oh, hell yeah, no, that nigga was far ahead of his time. He was the first nigga I seen running around with a camera. That nigga looked like an alien, to be real. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact,
At
though.
that time, to be running around with
It
that
was
camera in
unheard of.
niggas' face and shit like that. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing, nigga?
For real.
You fucking weirdo. I know that's how niggas is looking at it, right?
Right,
Because it's too early. You know what I'm saying? You talking about 2013, maybe?
Yep,
I wanna
that's
say.
about right.
You know what I'm saying? And you running around with a camera in nigga face, interviewing niggas, and you got a website and shit.
Yeah.
Like, this shit we never heard of, but the nigga was a genius. He was ahead of his time, and you know what I'm saying? He benefited from that shit. And I feel like, with any success story like that that's attached to somewhere you come from, you're supposed to use that for inspiration because at the very least, you know it's possible because that man did it in a matter of 8 years now, we're saying? He's a
He's going crazy.
multi-millionaire where all of these biggest artists and these biggest media platforms in the hip-hop industry, they have to mention his brand.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
When they talk about it, they got to mention him. And he's only growing. He's on the upswing. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Right.
He
ain't
hasn't,
even hit his
he
peak
hasn't
yet.
maxed out. Yeah, exactly.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't maxed out his potential. So we want to just be seeing, we're just now seeing the beginning of what he can do. And I like the way that he goes into business and ventures off into other things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sean, he definitely a humble guy. You know what I'm saying? He's an introvert, so he's not. He's personable once he feel comfortable around you. Yeah. But like I asked him tonight on the interview, like, my nigga, when was the last time you ever been to like a club or to a bar? So, nigga, like 8 years.
He can go.
I mean, he could get security and go.
Yeah, but how does that feel? How would you feel if you had to?
Like the man? Yeah, nigga. Hey, man.
Real shit.
Don't walk up to my table,
like the
bro.
man.
Yeah, you feel like the man.
Sometimes I would imagine being in his position, you would want to be a regular nigga. This come back to something that we was talking about the other day. We was talking about fear. He was asking me about my fears, right? And I said that I believe that I recently overcame my fear of being successful. And he was like, what? You know what I'm saying? But I had a fear of being successful because of shit like that. Imagine that, nigga.
House arrest.
you know what I'm saying? That's
House
crazy as fuck. You gotta go to the club with security.
Can't go to the grocery store.
Can't hit the mall.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be a normal nigga no more.
Hey, but you signed up for it.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure, exactly. But and you gotta accept what comes
You
with
got to
it.
set with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So you just might well roll with the security.
Yeah.
Do what you got.
You got to anyway. Once they know you, nigga, you a walking Brinks truck. You better have Brinks security.
So you better have brick security.
For sure,
Factory,
bro.
nigga. Yeah, 6 niggas, huh?
Hey,
You know
don't
what
let
I'm
these
saying?
niggas-
2 on the front, 4 on the back, huh?
Niggas be getting tricked out of position. Nigga, you walking around with all your security. You damn right.
Oh yeah, never let a nigga trick you out the streets, man. We done
Man.
lost too many niggas
For sure.
for niggas being too cool and too tough. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
To have them boys with you, you better have somebody with you because niggas is lurking.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to BBQ band.
So yeah, man,
In
I was
Japan.
on Facebook one day, man, and I seen you going crazy. I seen you going so crazy. I had to make sure that was your page. You know what I'm saying? But what led to you? I'm gonna go this way first.
Take it all the way to the top so we can fully understand.
You was raised a Christian, right?
Yeah. I'd say that.
Okay, but it wasn't like strict and no shit like that.
No, I was the first person in my family to become Christian at 13. It was like this purple church bus of white people. Let me put it in perspective just real quick. So I'm in the hood. You in Detroit, bro. At that time you didn't see white people unless it was police officers or junkies.
Damn, that's
You didn't have white neighbors. And I'm on the block and we just heard this music coming from the park around the corner. So we like, the hell is going on? So the whole hood just started migrating to this park.
Right.
And it was this church that was doing like just first time I heard like Christian rap, and they was doing all these like skits and all this shit. And they passed out these little cards like, if you want to come to church, sign these cards. So shit, as a kid, you're 13, you just sign the shit.
Right.
That's probably like a Saturday. Like that Wednesday, a knock come at the door. I'm sitting in the kitchen, like 13, and my mom had this look on her face, and then she looked at me. I said, "What's up?" She's like, "You want to go to church?" I said, "Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, shit, they here to take you to church." So I walk to the door and I see this young white woman and a white man. I'm looking at my mom like, "You about to let me just let me go with these white people?"
Right.
And so then when I looked out the door, it was like a school bus painted purple. It was just like packed with inner city kids, from all over Detroit. And so like every Wednesday, they would send these buses throughout the neighborhood and take us to church, which was dope because you met kids from the east side of Detroit, people that you would never run into. And they had the basketball hoop, arcade.
Yeah.
It was like a suburban church. So it was like a mega church. So it was girls there, you know what I'm saying? You mean girls from all
It was the place to be.
Hell yeah. Every Wednesday, the whole hood was on the church bus. You know what I'm saying?
That shit crazy.
And so that's when I began my journey. That night, you want to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, give your life over to Him and change your life.
Yeah.
That's when I gave my life to the Lord, and I was committed to it. You know what I'm saying?
So was your mother a Christian?
I mean, she was a Christian, but she was a single mother of 4 boys. She was a worker. She
Oh
was
yeah,
at
not
work.
that.
You know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
asking, was that her belief
Nah.
system though?
It was
That's
her
all-
belief
that's all- yeah,
system
that's her belief system.
through tradition, but we was the type that probably go on Easter here and there or
Oh yeah,
Christmas
for
here and
sure.
there.
I mean, that's the majority anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was the one that was at church every Wednesday. I would read the big ass family edition Bible. I was drawn to spirituality and the scripture ever since 13.
Yeah.
So I always say when I got to college, I was leader on Impact Bible Study on my team.
Right.
I was deep in it.
Yeah.
So the shock that you got, you can imagine the shock
It
of all
used to
the
be a
people that
Bible
went to
study
church.
with you and shit.
And the people know, because my family, if you talk about the word in the scripture, everybody will come to me. And you talk about the reference from Greek. You know what I'm saying? I had a 4-ride scholarship to Mooney Bible College,
Yeah.
a theology school out of my pastor was going to pay for it, but I chose to go to Bowling Green to play football.
Damn.
So
Yeah, you was deep off in there.
I was in
For
there.
real.
Damn.
Once you realize that the information that you had been studying or whatnot was a little bit deeper than what it looks. You know what I'm saying? Were you angry?
Yeah, I'm still angry because it's still new to me. Like, this is, you
How
talking
long
about
has it been?
like 6-7 months.
Oh yeah. You're gonna be. I was angry as fuck too.
Leo
was one of the angriest people I ever seen.
Oh yeah, Leo, Sky Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Leo, He was an evangelical. As much as I was evangelical as a Christian, believing in winning people for the Lord, he was like an evangelical atheist,
definitely.
trying to tear that shit down.
He was. Leo was terrible.
Man, it was funny, man. But yeah, man, it was just one of those things, man. COVID happened. I mean, not COVID happened, but when I had my son, and when he was born into this world, and I saw him, and immediately I told my wife that's the first time I ever experienced unconditional love.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I said, as much as we want to romanticize it between us two, I said, maybe we achieve unconditional love when we get 60, 70, 80s, these penises and vaginas stop working, and it's all about, personality. Maybe then, but
they got herbs for that.
So you can live forever.
Right.
You can live forever.
You can do it forever,
But
don't give up.
When my son came out, the doctor put her on that table under that heating lamp. It was the first time in my life I ever saw somebody for the first time that my entire being was completely swelled up with love and engulfed.
Right.
And you remember my nephew that got killed? Yeah. My sister was in the room with me. His mom was in the room when my son was born. Wow. And I looked her in her eyes and I cried, and she cried because for the first time I saw what she lost.
Oh.
I lost my best friend and like my brother.
That's different.
But she lost this on this table. And I'm like, how are you still here? Because I just met him, and I was willing to go to war with God for him.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep.
And so my theological, my philosophical motor just start really running, because here go this life that's completely dependent on me, but got a clean slate. He's not indoctrinated with any religion. He's not indoctrinated with any racist ideologies or racial ideologies. No financial ideologies, no health ideologies. He has a complete clean slate, and I am responsible.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Like, what are you doing to be responsible as far as like keeping him away from certain things, or having a lack of knowledge of understanding what it is that he's seen?
The good question, that it shed a light on me, my beliefs. Why do I believe what I believe? And
right.
It made me start to vet everything that I believed. Do I truly believe in what I believe enough to give it to him?
That's deep.
And then now it told me I need to go back and study more.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's when I started getting into the Bible more, start getting, other texts, and just going back to what I know, because the God of the Bible was my God.
Yeah.
But then I start seeing things that was going against my logic as I prayed to God to reveal truth to me.
Right.
That's heavy.
That's the
That's
trick
heavy.
right there.
That's heavy.
He took the red pill.
That's the trick. That's all you got to do, baby. I be telling people all the time.
He took that red pill.
Open that book. Cause this how my own individual journey started with me reading the Bible from beginning to end for the second time, and saying the same prayer every night, asking to see the truth, and to be able to discern the truth from the lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit led me to where I am today.
Yeah. So when I started seeing them contradictions, because I was taught that the Bible is inerrant, it's the infallible word of God. Yeah. So it's without any errors, without any contradictions. And here it is. I saw literally blatant contradictions. Yeah. Like, one story said Judas hung himself. He bought a field with the money that he betrayed Jesus with and hung himself. Another story says he gave the money back, and the Pharisees bought a field, and then Judas fell over, his stomach split open, and the gut spewed out. Two different stories.
Same book, in the same book.
Same book. It's one is in Acts and one is in Matthew.
That's crazy.
Two different stories.
Two different interpretations.
No, different stories. It's two different ways you died. Did he die from hanging, or did his gut spill open?
Right.
Some people's like, when you get hung, your gut spill open. Wait. First of all,
I love the way they try to correct the shit.
Because, if you want to believe, you're going to always correct it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, as many people get hung by their neck, the chances of their stomach splitting open is unlikely. But even if they did, their stomach split open, did they die from the hanging, or did they die from the stomach? They didn't die from both. One of them killed it.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that. Like I said, two different resurrection stories. One story says two women went to the tomb and they saw an angel. Another story said one woman went to a tomb and saw a gardener. What Mark ended and said that the angels told them that go and tell them Jesus resurrected. The story ended that they ran and told no one because they were scared. Another one, it was two different stories, two birth stories.
Yeah.
One birth story of Jesus says that Herod killed all the babies, killed all the young kids because he didn't want Jesus to be King of Kings. He killed all the kids. Mary and Joseph fled to Egypt, and they remained in Egypt till everything was safe. Well, another story mentions nothing to Herod, mentions nothing to him killing all these babies, and said that Jesus stayed in Jerusalem for the purification, getting circumcised, and then he returned right to Nazareth. Wait, if the king killed all these babies, both stories would tell that. That is a major thing. But one said he left and flee to Egypt. Another story simply said he stayed there for 30 days, because if you know Jewish tradition and in the circumcision rituals and all that stuff, that could take up to 30 days. They stayed there and then just returned to Nazareth. Two different stories. But out of all of that, I'm saying this to say this. That wasn't really the main thing that started to turn me off of God. What started getting me with God was suffering. When you say God is a loving God, how is it so much suffering in the world? Because if God loves you, if I'm a parent and the way I love my son, if I can stop him from suffering, he will not suffer. But God stops no suffering. Somebody say, well, no, you suffer because of free will. Then somebody else say, no, well, but you suffer because of the devil. Oh, no, you suffer because God is punishing you for the bad things you're doing. Which one am I suffering for? Because a baby that's dying of starvation every 3 seconds, how's that free will?
Got a point there.
So that's what started getting me. It's the suffering aspect with God a lot. Is that if you are all powerful, then you're either all loving, you're either not all loving or not all knowing. If you're all powerful, meaning you got the power to stop it, but you're not interested in stopping it. But if you're all loving, you don't want none of these things to happen, but you just incapable of stopping it.
I mean, you can look at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? Or you can look at it from this perspective, like if God is a spirit, right? Right? But yet this spirit or whatever dwells in man, right? Well, there was nobody that was godly that could help that child not starve. You understand what I'm saying?
God could.
Well,
he made both the spirit and the physical. He could.
Well, based on this matrix we in, this shit that we in, how if he's not a physical form?
I mean, I feel you. So then you fall under the precept of God is all loving. He don't want you to suffer, but he not all powerful. He can't help you. We're in this matrix, so he's handicapped.
My thought process,
not very godlike to me.
Yeah, my thought process on is like this: that I really do believe that God really don't have anything to do with the bullshit that's going on here. And I'm gonna tell you why I have that thought process. It's because when I did ayahuasca, I asked why is there so much suffering? And they said that's not us, that's man. That's what they said. That's what the lady said. Because it was a lady that talked to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It wasn't no man. You know what I'm saying? The lady said that we basically we do this to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's fair.
You know, we don't have to believe it. You know what I'm saying? But
let's see what you're saying is where I align myself at now. See, I just deconstructed the God of the Bible that I was taught. That was all loving, all powerful, that do all things. And I'm like, well, if he's all of this, why is this happening? But I would agree with you. Me now, I'm agnostic, meaning I don't know. That's what agnostic means.
It's okay. It's okay to say you don't know.
So when somebody say, do God exist? I don't know. But I'm a humanist, meaning that my job is to do my part to help reduce your suffering. Right. Your job is to make sure we reduce my suffering. How we do that? From the Bible, you could take spiritual truths from that. The greatest thing the Bible gave to me was love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do unto others as you want done unto you.
Having good character.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Those things, people be like, oh, well, if you don't believe in a Bible or a book, you don't have no morals. And me and you was talking off where you draw your morality from. That's but we was talking off camera, and I was like, no, everybody had innate morality in them because you needed to survive. Right. If I build my hut next to your hut, I know in order to live in peace, I can't go steal from your hut. Or it's going to be war.
Nobody got to teach you that.
You know what I'm saying? And so nobody have to teach you that because you need morals to survive. Once you start breaking certain morals that cause suffering, you bring suffering to yourself.
And some shit is based on genetics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you may have a a Caucasian gene where you just want to be Babylonian and kill everybody.
Caucasian gene.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want to kill everybody in the room. You know what I'm saying? You want to go conquer and destroy everything you come in contact with. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real.
Or you may have a loving genetics. You know what I'm saying? Where you
What's that? The African gene.
You want to call it that? Yeah. I said no. I wouldn't say that.
You don't want to say that one.
No, we on live. They gonna motherfuckers probably think I'm tripping.
I think the only thing wrong with the Bible or any other scripture for that point is when people take it as literal. I think that's where the confusion comes in at.
Right,
a lot of people look at the Bible as historical and literal. You know what I'm saying? But to me, that's allegory. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we talking about more often than not, we talking about mistranslations of
top of mistranslations.
Of ancient scriptures that in its origin come from our ancestors. And we just dealing with other cultures coming across our cultures and interpreting whatever it is they found. And then by the time they got to us in this generation, they kicking it like it's literal and it's not. And that's why you will have different stories for the same thing, because it's trying to tell you something. Mm-hmm. It's not literal. You know what I'm saying? But if you apply it literally, it's not going to make sense because you're not supposed to look at that literally. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that's the perspective that we talk from.
That was crazy. I was listening to this Audible book, and it was talking about the conscious and subconscious mind, right? But they was showing how biblically where it was in the Bible.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like it was talking about the conscious or the subconscious mind. Uh-huh. You thought it was talking about a male and a female, but they're not talking about a male and a female in that Bible.
It's symbology.
They was talking about the concept of how the brain and the conscious and the subconscious mind marry each other when you sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
And this marriage that you having with that, you have to be mindful of what you is putting into your conscious mind. You know what I'm saying? And your conscious mind is like whenever it shuts off in a sense, you know what I'm saying, or merges with the subconscious mind, that subconscious mind is what manifests to the physical. Yep. Brings things forth. Yep. So you got to make sure, and that's why I said be mindful of what you think. Don't go to the scriptures tell you don't go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Why is it telling you that? It's telling you that not to go to bed angry because whatever you put into whatever you have in your conscious mind is going to be released to that subconscious mind to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have, that's what you say, you want to be rich, then you need to go to bed every night. You need to be praying or talking or whatever you need to do, writing down or whatever you need to be doing, focusing on that, like laser focus on that. So when you rest, your subconscious mind can get to work. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's going to form your reality.
Yeah, that's what's going to form your reality. You know what I'm saying? I look at this shit as a simulation now. I look at everything like, programs and shit. Even y'all, even us. You know what I'm saying? We little programs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Within my realm of my visual realm. You know what I'm saying? What I can see. You know what I'm saying?
I think that makes a lot of sense. And you can see it like, look at video games right now. How realistic they are. Now we getting ready to enter into the metaverse, where we about to start seeing augmented reality.
Pray for them.
And I think it's a dope thing. I'm a technology type of person. It makes things simpler. It makes it fun. Like augmented reality is everybody in this room, but when our goggles are on, you got Whack 100 sitting here digitally, but it feels like he's really right here. You know what I'm saying? That's what augmented reality is, what it does. But if you see where we are with video games right now and how realistic things are, what would it look like in 100 years? You wouldn't be able to tell reality from.
You're not going to be able to. That's my issue.
But if we're already from a more advanced civilization outside of this world, it's a possibility that this is an augmented reality, a simulation.
It is.
Because if we're because I feel like this, either we're the first ones to do it and we on our way, or we're just one of many simulations that's already been created by something higher.
It's all the simulation. That's why I say when you take the information and go back to, even when you look at Ifa is it's an African religion, right? And it's based off of a binary code, but you're talking about the same binary code that they use to create the computers.
Yeah.
When we talking about the code that our ancestors was using, we can't even say how many years ago.
You know what's bad, bro? I don't get caught up in ancestor stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying?
I think this is a thing that you can see that's common amongst human beings everywhere. And especially, and you can also see it with African Americans here, descendants of slaves here.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't know where you come from, you romanticize where you came from. What's up, king? What's up, queen? Everybody on that ship wasn't a king or queen. Some of them was shoveling shit, and some of them was peasants, and some of them wasn't criminal. But because we don't know, who gonna give their ancestors the occupation of the shit shoveler?
Well, that come from what you're saying is key though, because that come from actually not knowing. Because a lot of them people is dealing with stuff on the surface. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what we do.
They not gonna. That's what they do. I don't do that. They not gonna say that we had slaves. They're not gonna say that we had a class-based system when we was in Egypt. You feel me? They're not gonna say that everything that the Caucasian is doing to us right now is nothing but a copy of a blueprint that we created. This is our same very world. These are the same colors on our flag. Had the same colors that this flag had right now. It's a White House out there in Egypt that niggas don't talk about. That White House in America is built after to replicate. It's the exact same world.
I look at it like Africa big as hell. When we talk about Africa, we condense it as this little small plot of land and there's a bunch of black people running on it.
Yeah.
Africa was like almost 3.5 times bigger than the United States.
Yeah, at least.
So the chances of you being from Egypt, your descendants being from Egypt, is probably unlikely.
Yeah.
Because slaves all came from West Africa.
Right.
The chances is Egyptians don't look at themselves as African. Africa is just a continent. They look at themselves as Egyptians, Ethiopians.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like you look at yourself as a Texan.
Yeah.
I'm a Detroiter who's now a Texan. I've been here long enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They not walking around like we're African and it's African pride. No, it's my tribe, my country.
Yeah.
Over here, because we don't know, most of us descendants of slaves don't know where we come from. Yeah. We romanticize all of Africa into one. Now all of a sudden we're from Egypt.
Yeah, that just comes from a lack of knowledge though.
Yeah, and, you know what I'm saying? But I hear people throw that around all the time.
Yeah, they doing. But I feel like a lot of those people, everybody be at their own individual point on their individual path.
Makes sense.
You feel what I'm saying?
Makes
So
sense.
a lot of the times when you first get into the information, that's the first thing you go to because people do a lot of that correlating Jesus with Horus or Heru. So when they first leave the church, that's the first thing they want to go to is the Egyptian thing. You know what I'm saying? But they really, when you talk to them, they really still got a Christian mind frame.
Yeah.
They just picked up something African and attached it to it. But they ain't did no real deep dive and no studying to know anything about that. Yeah. Nor have they tapped into their native culture because most of us is over here. Our people is from over here. A lot of us don't even come from slaves and don't even know that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? We come from native families that was already here before the Caucasians came here. But if you ain't doing a proper studying, then you might not know that. You know what I'm saying? So they just they early on in their path, you feel me? They don't know no better.
Yeah, another thing too, when you're dealing with like ancestors, right? Now, I would say most pseudo type brothers and sisters and whatever, they do attach themselves to ancestors that may not be their ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't do that. We talking like my great grandfather that was a sharecropper who took care of the family. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that we giving reverence to. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And they need to be remembered because when I leave here, I don't want to be forgotten as well. I want my descendants that came from me. I want them to remember me. You know what I'm saying? And remember my character. And remember how I rocked and rolled, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what develops people or humans or whatever you want to say. If you're coming from good stock and you keep continuing to make good stock, like your son, we don't know what we going to be because he's not getting brainwashed.
Right.
So we don't know what he's going to be, you know what I'm saying? But we know that you molding him and building him, you know what I'm saying? So he's never going to forget you for that.
Yeah. Which means his son your grandson is already at an advantage.
Yeah, he had an advantage. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Because of the work you doing.
So that's why we give reverence to the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, I know, like I say, a lot of young people, man, they catch on to this stuff, this knowledge, but yet, man, it's a deeper thing, man, when you have to go within yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And know what about yourself, the dark and deep things about yourself, and deal with those issues. You know what I'm saying? That's beyond any of this stuff we talking about anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why are we doing the ayahuascas? Are we just doing it's a fad? Because Joe Blow and them doing that. Yeah, did you know this shit can kill you too?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This shit, this
Niggas
shit can-
die.
Niggas and motherfuckers die. You know what I'm saying? Because they go to a world they know nothing about, and they just lose their fucking mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to be very mindful. You have to be, we have tools and things that we can use that can guide us. You know what I'm saying? That has been given to us by the ancestors or by information from our ancestors that came before us. Like he said, throwing the Ipuele, you know what I'm saying? Was just throwing a chain and doing nothing but binary codes, you know what I'm saying? And predicting what it is to come, you know what I'm saying? You can predict anything on the planet, just like they do on the computer. When they type it up on the computer, they get on the computer and they can tell you on the stocks, where it's going to be.
Projections,
They can do projections, right?
Yeah, and that's all I was saying with that was, and to be specific, West Africans, West African spiritual traditions had already cracked the binary code of the matrix that we exist in today. That's
Already
what I'm
did
saying.
it. Yeah, my bad.
They already did it. And that same code was used to build computers that those same people used to create algorithms for our very current society.
Got you. To me, I just keep it simple right now. Where I am, you know how you asked me, was I angry when I walked away? I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
You talk about like my very world of everything that I ever known, I thought I believed in what God was to be, and my very being for my existence. It's not been shattered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so now I took a simple approach. I don't worry about religion. I don't worry about spirituality where in regards to my ancestors. Yeah. I am in a very humanist mindset right now. Yeah. Simply, it's my duty to help my fellow man not to suffer. Mm-hmm. So if it's within my means and not harm to myself, how can I help you not suffer? So I don't spend time like.
And I would say this is the Christ syndrome. This is the Christ walk that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You basically you saying everything Christ was saying in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm only here to, you know what I'm saying, to basically help you get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help you. That's it.
Because that's where true eternal life, like you just talked about, true eternal life, the way that you live, nobody ever remembers the person that was the richest when they die. You never remember the richest person in the world.
Right.
You only remember the people that impacted the world, whether good or bad.
Real impact.
You'll remember Hitler, and you will remember Malcolm X.
Right.
You will remember Marilyn Monroe, and you'll remember Barack Obama.
Yeah.
No matter what side of the spectrum they are, it's the impact they had on people. That's who live forever. It's not the person with the most money. And so that's why I have a humanist view. I want to live forever, not meaning that I want to physically live in this world forever, but like you said, the memory of me, the understanding and the consciousness of me, I want that to live forever. And so the way that I feel like I live forever is to impact people. And the way that impact people is, how do I lend a helping hand? How do I bless the next man or woman to help them not suffer?
Man, ask both of y'all a random question.
Gotcha.
You can have one superpower, what would it be?
You asking me first?
It don't matter, either one of y'all.
Man, my superpower is that every time I snap my fingers, shit, the bread hit the ground.
The money?
Money. hey, there you go.
Hey, you know it's an old dude where they said this particular old dude came down, they asked him what he wanted, he said he want money. And
that's real.
That's what they gave him.
What old dude was that?
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. Okay.
Well, I guess mine would be, to take a piggyback off the money, would be being able to know what happens next, predict the future. So that way, if I stumble across the money, I know what to invest in next.
Do that.
Hold on.
Know what to put it in.
And what do you, when you say predict the future, what do you mean?
Everything. Now, I can see everything before it happens. And I can choose which timeline I want to take.
I already do that.
Yeah, they can teach you that one. But anyway.
Yeah, we can teach you that. That's nothing.
Oh, well, then you should already have all the money then.
I'm working on it.
No, you ain't got to work on it. It should be right there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
No,
it's elements
because
of
you said timeline. So you might be on the timeline, and the most money might be at this point on the timeline. So you might have chose the timeline with the most money, but you might have to live to, let's say, boom, you see the timeline, right? If you could wait till 60 and have 100 million,
or be a rapper and get it at 19 and be dead at 23.
That too. That too. Would you choose that one?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. That's why I say I want to be able to see everything.
You want 100 million in 60 or 10 million tomorrow?
100. Well, see, that's why I want to know the future. I need to know why I'm picking the 10 million.
You ain't gonna make no more than 10 million. That's your cap. You capped at 10. You ain't never gonna make no more money.
It's still tough, man. It's too many variables.
Man, listen. First of all, you already know you
blow it all on cocaine.
You already what?
God damn. Oh man, you already know you alive, right?
I don't know.
He just said you alive with 100 with 10 million, right?
He get the 10 million and somebody see it on TV and boom, I'm dead in an hour because I decided to accept the 10 million.
This nigga is crazy.
You know how mad it is when you win the lottery and they say you got to be on the news to show that you won.
Fuck that.
Because some states it's a law, like you have to show yourself when you win the lottery.
I didn't know that. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, look, I got a fuck, marry, kill for you.
Okay, let's get it.
Erica Banks, K Breezy, Vita Loca.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Hit him with one.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start with Mary. I marry Vita Loca.
Mm-hmm.
She's seasoned. Her mouth is reckless, so I know she nasty.
Okay.
She's gonna hold it down.
Oh wow!
Shout out to Vita.
I smashed Erica. She definitely. She look alright. She cold.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
K Breezy talented as hell, but my baby, she gotta go.
You gonna knock her head off.
Yeah, it's my baby, she gotta go.
God
but
damn.
I'll resurrect her.
Nigga said, I'll resurrect her on the third day in the name of the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
that's some wild shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
So man, listen, I'm nosy like this, bro. I be trying to look in people's face, you know what I'm saying? I was always taught to look at the man in his eyes.
For sure.
So my thing is, so how long you been a Mason?
How long I've been a Mason since? I was about to answer that a different way.
Answer it the way you was finna
Nah, I
answer.
can't answer it the way I feel.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead and say it. It's only if you know, right?
Right, nah, I get it's on camera. Hey, I've been traveling for about 3 years, 4 years.
Okay, that's
4
what's
years,
up.
yeah.
So you use it as is it more of a beneficial thing?
Absolutely.
That's why you got it. That's what's up.
What's the benefit?
Everybody, man. Hell of a Mason, Bebe a Mason, Shaq a Mason. I could be in a room and just do something, man. So many people I didn't came across that travel.
It helped you in the business?
Man, what? When I went to the Core DJ conference, Tony Neal, all of them, they travel. Took care of your boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna need to get that application.
80% of police officers.
I say, I know that for sure.
You know what I mean? And white ones. I got pulled over white cop.
Oh, no, you good.
But I keep getting pulled by the same black cop in Mansfield, and he keep giving me a ticket. He ain't one, though.
Oh, that's wild.
But no, it's a brotherhood, man. It's a real cool thing, man.
That's something you plan on passing down to your children?
Yeah. I mean, I explain it to them, but it's something you just got to choose for yourself. It's a Freemason. You have to be a free man to be a Mason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it got to be something that he want to do, and he got to be able to want to do it, not because what he think it can do for him or what he can bring to make the craft better.
So I got a question though. It's an important one though. So how do you kill the skepticism? Like, well, you know, it's all kind of sayings about Masons. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all worship the devil and all these type of things. You know what I'm saying? How do you answer those type of questions?
Well, first of all, we have to debunk the one thing. People like Mason is a secret society. It is not. If it was a secret society, you wouldn't know I was a Mason.
Right.
No.
I would call it a secret society.
It's not because you know.
Because I would say I'm in a secret society, right? Because I'm a part of a society where it's things that I can't tell you unless you come in.
Well, that's fair, but that's everybody, right? So,
right.
you got your partners.
Exactly.
You got your partners. Like you said, y'all know some stuff that y'all keep amongst each other. You're not going to share that with me.
Yeah.
Now, if I hang out with you long enough and I've been around you long enough and I show myself worthy, then you will give that information over to me. But you just not.
Yeah.
Nobody does
I don't
that.
think it's nothing wrong with secret society. I think we need more secret societies in our community.
But that's what happened when it's a secret. When people start to figure out why are these people in there, what are they doing, then they start speculating.
Oh, yeah.
They sacrificing
I mean, it's really just hate. You know what I'm saying? You on the outside of the club, you can't get in.
That's what it is.
That's all it is. You know
That's what it
I'm
is.
saying?
Because
because you know, when I do my readings or whatever, and people say, well, they want to come over or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on the client or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'd let them come over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let them see what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know they're not going to understand what it is.
Yeah. I feel like.
Because it's complex. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hiding information. I'm like, it's right there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're hiding either. I mean, everything that you want to know about Masons is on the internet.
In both societies,
no.
that we all three exist in, right? You in one society, we in another one. Me and him can have a conversation right here in front of both of you niggas with regular English words, and y'all wouldn't know what the fuck we was talking
The
about.
same way in Masons. That's what I was saying. When I stopped myself, I was about to say something.
Yeah, you finna say something. But that's why I said it's only if you know, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
even when you say I've been traveling, that's talk.
Yeah.
You talking. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the secret. But that's what, because you know, everybody won't be cool. That's really what's the problem is with black people.
Yeah.
Niggas won't be cool. If a nigga felt like you left him out of something, now you cooler than him, and nigga gonna hate on you.
That's always how it is.
Yeah.
And
I think
why
we just
you
got
not me?
societies within societies, and people have certain protocol and how they gonna act and who they gonna let in and all that shit. That shit is just life. It's just one big. I'll call it a big ass high school.
That's what it is.
I mean, that's what it is. It's
Exactly
all
what it
masonry is the father of all fraternities. If you look at all white college frats, all black college frats, they got their whole foundation from masonry.
And shout out to the ancestors because we got masonry from them too. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Shaheed. Remember they was trying to get us in, and we was 5%ers. We was like, fuck y'all.
That's the only group that ever approached me when I was in college too, and that meant something to me in hindsight. You know
What, 5%ers?
Nah, hell no. Mason.
Mason.
A Mason is the only dude who said something to me. I was cool with one of the Masons. They wasn't out in the open, but I was cool with all the frats. But none of them ever said nothing to me about joining.
Gotcha.
A Mason was the only one who said something. He just said something one time and left it alone.
And the dope thing about Masons, bro, in my lodge, shoot, you got alphas, you got Qs, you got everybody. Because it's the father of all fraternities. So you pledge in college, you got your college cats, your college fraternity. Yeah. You get into masonry, you got your mason, the craft, your bros. You could go become a police officer, you got your boys in blue. It's you trap in the hood, you got your partners, you got your trap partners. It's all a society.
Yeah. How far you plan on going with it?
Man, you know what? I don't know. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Because like each journey that you go, they got each
Man, you ain't
at
gotta
the end
do
of
all
the
that.
day,
We know
what I
what
would say,
you're talking about.
you got to pay dues. So
Yeah,
whenever you pay
dues.
dues, and the more like the Shriners, everybody know the Shriners, the dude with the red hats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They call it the frat boys in masonry. They did the
fake ass Moors and shit.
Say, so let me ask you a question. This is a serious question. Does the devil exist?
No.
That's a great question.
And why?
Well, I'll take this back.
That's a great answer.
I would take this back. I would say I don't know. I'm not consumed with whether or not the devil exists, nor am I consumed with whether or not God exists. Because, like your dream said, it's us.
Us.
Oh, not your dream, but your
ayahuasca ceremony.
Yeah, it's us that's causing everything, whether good or bad, and so therefore, I'm not consumed by day.
Hey man, when I was on that shit, man, I really asked some serious questions.
I feel it.
I don't even know how you was able to. I ain't never did ayahuasca though.
Because I
done
was
did some
able,
serious shit on shrooms before.
But see, I was able to get outside of myself just to do it. You know what I'm saying? It was hard, you know what I'm saying? Because I was fighting everything that I was going through too. So I was trying to put that shit to the side, like, man, let me get this out the way so I can get to where they really gonna show me. Because you can't get to it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta go through and let go.
Holding all this bullshit. So I was over here fighting And this ego of mine was, that motherfucker was tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ego was bugging. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was on one. But see, we got 6 or 7 hours of straight zoning out. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get there. When I got there, man, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things was, like, I had the Moses experience where he talked to the fiery bush. I talked to the fireplace. The fireplace actually talked to me.
Okay.
She talked to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And she told me, and I quote, whenever you need to talk, just come to the fire.
There you go.
So I could talk to the fire.
Shango.
Shango shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the shit is crazy. But my second time I did the ayahuasca, it was a white lady next to me, and I went into this meditation. I took the shit. I drank a big old, man. I just sat down in a little meditation zone. I kind of zoned out a little bit. I could feel my body like vibrating. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like,
Yeah.
I could feel it vibrating. But what was so crazy was they asked the white lady during the when the ceremony was over that morning. They asked the white lady how she felt about it. She said, "I don't know what drugs y'all gave me." Everybody was laughing in the room, but she said, "All I know, who is this guy? I can feel him."
Yeah.
She said she could feel me. I had left the earth, bro. No bullshit. And it was taking me to other planets. And I ain't gonna tell y'all no more.
Hey, I mean, it's real. Like, that's me, man. I think spirituality is a beautiful thing. I think where we mess up with spirituality is when we start trying to put our experiences on other people.
You can't do that. You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
what happens.
Yeah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because your experience is gonna be different from mine.
Facts.
Even when you take the ayahuasca, everybody's experiencing ayahuasca because we don't know your genetic background. We don't know what's really going on with you from a DNA standpoint. You know what I'm saying? You could have been came from people that was just straight killers.
Could have been. Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? And then you holding on all of that karma, you know what I'm saying, and you within your own DNA. So you have to deal with that too. See what I'm saying? So this shit is
Everybody got their own path and
But-
their own journey. That's what I was
It's
saying.
heavy, man.
I think the United States, especially Western countries, we're in a situation where we're in now, is because regardless of where you are, we all been impacted by the doctrination of Christianity.
Fact.
Right.
And what people don't really realize is that Christianity was probably one of the first religions to evangelize and tell people that you had to get rid of your culture and convert to us.
Them niggas gangster.
And that we worship the one true God.
And
there is no other God.
They teach damnation.
Everybody else was minding their own business.
Because what the thing is that back, you would think in antiquity, if you had a God, I had my own God, and you was like, man, I prayed to my God to get me 4 new goats, and you got the 4 new goats. I don't get rid of my God. I was like, for real? I just now add your God to my collection. I didn't get rid of my culture and my God. Right. But when Christianity showed up on the scene, Christianity was one of the first religions that not only that said, I worship the one true God. People didn't argue about who God was.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm the one true God, and not only do we worship the one true God, if you're going to worship the one true God, you have to leave everything. Christianity is a culture eater. And so what happens when you're in the United States, we have this one mentality of my truth is the absolute truth. And if you're not this truth, you live in a lie and you're against it. So even if you're not a Christian, but you into what you call it?
Hebrew Israelites. Shout out to you niggas.
They do it. But even my guys that be like more like herbalists or holistic teachers, doctor.
I hate the vegan niggas too. Don't get me started.
The Dr. Sebiites and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sabeites.
Call them Sabeites. Oh shit.
And I say that because even atheists, everybody is trying to convince.
I hate atheists too.
Everybody is trying to convince because Christianity has taught that it can only be one true way, and you have to get rid of your way. And no matter what you believe in,
and that's a contradiction within itself too. Because like it says in the Bible, there's many rooms to the mansion. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? Is somebody a Buddhist or whatever they may be?
Jesus
you know
went and studied all them cultures too, so it don't even make sense.
Yeah,
I mean, you need to go study everything too,
they say
especially if you believe in him.
supposedly he did. We don't.
Well,
we wasn't there 2000, whatever 2000.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's what the book say.
And see, that's what was getting me with Jesus. I think Jesus is dope. It's historical fact that Jesus exists. And the reason why I say that is because you got ancient historians who didn't like him that wrote about him. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't exist,
look into that.
if you didn't exist, why would somebody who don't like you right about you.
But
So
I'm
it's-
saying the story of Jesus is nothing more than the story of Seth. You know what I'm saying? In Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It's on the walls of Egypt.
It could be, but what I'm saying is this: is number one, you have to look at a couple of different things, and I challenge my
But
Christian
I say it's the
friends.
same scenario. Like
Yeah.
he had the 12 disciples. You know, he died and rose in 3 days, et cetera, et cetera. That story has been told in multiple cultures.
Yeah, it has. And that's why I challenge like my Christian friends. I said, number one, ask yourself this. I said, what was Jesus? He was a Jew. Right. At that time, Jews spoke either Hebrew or Aramaic. Those were the two.
True indeed.
New Testament was written in Greek. Why wasn't it written in Hebrew or Aramaic? That was my first logic with my faith. Number two, we tend to take our world and put it on their world because most people in our world can read and write. Back then, only the wealthy, the aristocrats, could read and some could write. Most people couldn't read and write.
And the women couldn't do it at all because it was banned.
So what we know about Jesus and the disciples were they were poor.
Right.
So if they were poor, they couldn't read or
Right.
write. So
Too much logic.
So let alone if they couldn't read or write in Hebrew and Aramaic, what's the chances of them being able to write a text in Greek? So what happened was this. The first book, the earliest book, Mark, was written about 35 to 40 years after Jesus died. So all these stories were translated or circulated oral traditions. It was a bunch of different Christian sects out there. Some people didn't believe Jesus was God. Some people just believed that he was a man that came and he died and that was it. Because the Jewish Messiah, that's why Jewish people don't believe in Jesus. Because the Messiah, what Messiah come and get killed by the ops? That's what happened to Jesus. And so the Jews never really accepted Jesus because the Messiah is supposed to set up the kingdom of God on earth.
Yeah, and they were supposed to.
That's what the Israelites the Hebrew Israelites preach, that the kingdom of God is coming.
Jesus never came. We still wait. Jesus was never born, basically, or whatever it is. Or whoever the true Messiah is was never born.
But it was an argument about that. That's why
I always thought that like Jesus was a form of consciousness.
no, he was actual man. It's historical
that go
evidence.
from if you decide to look at it as literal or allegory. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, the physical body is gone, but they say you can't kill the spirit. So I figured that it's consciousness now. You know what I'm saying? It was a transfer of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was physically here, but then what we're seeing, the after effect of what we're seeing is really his consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
You seeing with Jesus what happened to any rapper that dies.
That's true too.
They become legendized.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever an artist dies, somebody a public spectacle or perception dies, they become more than what they were.
They was they become exalted.
Like I rock with Nipsey. I thought Nipsey was dope. I think he was on his way. When I made Nipsey a legend, did I call Nipsey a legend while he was alive? In my opinion, he wasn't. But when he died, he became more than a legend. He became Ali Selassie reincarnated. He became all these different things once he passed away. He became legendized.
Right.
You see that on and on again. Biggie Smalls became a legend in hip hop, but Biggie only dropped one album while he was alive. The second one came out after he died. Most of us wouldn't even dare crown somebody a legend in hip hop only 2 albums.
That boy Kendrick got 4 classes. They still debating this shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, death.
Oh, if that nigga was if Kendrick died after he dropped Damn, that nigga would be the god. Oh my god.
But I think that's what happened with Jesus, right? And I don't want to go too long, but it's like this. The oral tradition circulated. People argue even in Christians on how to follow Jesus. Peter and James both said in order to follow Jesus, you have to become a Jew. Because Jesus didn't come and preach a new religion. He lived the law of Moses.
Right.
He said, I did not come to condemn the law. I came to fulfill the law. And not only that, he made the law harder. Moses says in the Torah, don't commit adultery. Jesus said, surely I say unto you, if you look at a woman with lustful eyes, you have already committed adultery with her in your heart.
Right.
What?
He just made it harder.
Right. Oh, I could never get with it, brother. I'm sorry.
You see what I'm saying? What
are you talking about?
It's almost
all
like
that
they
shit
had,
just be sounding too gay to me,
like
bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. I be confused,
They
bro.
had this monk-like mentality in the sense
that they don't like women.
A lot of people thought that to purify yourself. The ultimate
That's
purity
true.
to God was to be pure, abstain from sex.
I ain't gotta have sex with the woman, but look at the shape of that thing.
Because
you know
a lot of people feel like the temptation starts with the thought. The act starts with the thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you remove yourself from the thoughts, it will keep you from the act.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying all this to say is the Christianity that we had today was not what Jesus taught.
No, not even close.
Jesus never claimed to be the Son of God. You remember the story of he without sin cast the first stone?
Yeah.
That's in John. I was in John, I think. That's all. That scripture was added in almost 200 years later. That wasn't there originally in the we got earlier manuscripts of John that was written later, like real early, like thousands of different transcripts, and that scripture wasn't in there.
So
It appeared later.
Okay, so we know they had the Council of Nicaea, right?
Yep.
We understand they had.
You know what that was about? Was Jesus God? Was the Holy? They was trying to figure out the Father, Son, Holy Spirit thing. Was Jesus God? Was Jesus God when he was born? God come wrapped in flesh? Did he become God at the baptism when the Holy Spirit descended on him like a dove? Or did he become God when he ascended to heaven after his crucifixion? And do we worship three gods or do we worship one God?
Right.
Father,
I
Son,
thought they also was trying to control all the different sets of Christians.
no.
So they had different beliefs as well. They was trying to combine
That's
them.
kind of what he just said.
Well,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what they
yeah.
were, that's what they were trying to get on. One. That's how you got the
They
Catholic
was
Creed.
making everything one
The
accord.
Catholic Creed came
We're
out
gonna
of that.
decide on what we're gonna believe
Yeah,
on
this is
moving
what
forward.
we gonna believe on.
What is this?
But most people think the Bible was constructed there, and the Bible wasn't
the Bible was
constructed.
already constructed.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
By the time the Council of Nicaea,
No,
the original text was already written.
I thought they had so many books, though. They had so
they
many
didn't have books. They had scrolls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
saying
what's
the
different.
scriptures was already written though.
Yeah, at the Council of Nicaea, yes, but you
Yeah.
had so many different ones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You had so many different ones, and this is the hard thing
That's
about
what
the
they
Bible.
decided what they was gonna rock with.
Yeah, I tell you the one thing, good thing Christians gave to the world is the books. Books, how we see them now in binders, like piece of paper, a bunch of pages in a cover binder book sold in.
Yeah.
That's Christianity. Reason why? Because Christians like to debate scriptures. Because back then, if you want to read the scriptures, you had to go get the book of John, this long ass scroll, and roll that shit all the way out. And it wasn't broken down in chapters and verses. It was just a bunch of continuous writing, and you got to try to find it.
Yeah.
Somebody decided, let's make leaflets and take these books and put them inside
And
one big book
it
and
was in
stitch
Greek
them.
too. Right?
It was in Greek. But the problem what happens is once you stitch something in a book, it stays that way and it becomes a new religion. So you got to think this. Each book of the Bible, let me explain it like this. You will write a book about Dallas. You will write a book about Dallas. I write a book about Dallas. We're going to have a bunch of common themes about Dallas because we both live here in Dallas, but we have our own experiences. It's individual books. But let's say he comes and decides to take your book, and my book and put us in one book. Now it creates a whole different narrative that wasn't never meant to be created. All those books in the Bible weren't meant to be, they were their own individual books. Somebody decided to make it one big book, so now this person is jumping from this book thinking it has something to do with this book, and it didn't.
Yeah, because we know the first 5 books is the Torah.
Yeah, who wrote those?
You know what I'm saying? The Jews.
Who in it? Who wrote it? Some people say Moses. How do we know?
Yeah.
I thought it came from the Septuagint.
That Septuagint is...
Or am I mixing something up in my head?
No, the Septuagint is another collection of books, I believe. I can't think of it right now. It come to me. But a lot of people usually credit the first 5 to Moses, Genesis. Like, how did Moses... I guess he's supposedly seen God create the world when he took him up on the
always
mountain.
created to West African magic, and goddamn it, niggas translated it somewhere down the line. Took the allegory and put that old remix on the same way we do the cocaine, man. Put that shit back on the
It
block.
could. Everything was passed down, oral tradition.
Factory.
So
Old stories, new names, new culture.
We know for a fact that a lot of the priests came, the Hermetic priests came whenever Egypt started going through their issues or whatever, that they actually migrated west to West Africa.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
so
for sure.
basically Ifa, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can't be mad at that. That's when I argue with the Hebrew Israelites. I was like, so all the Hebrews, because I was like, Hebrews supposed to came from Palestine, Israel. That's all the way. Remember how I said like Africa is almost like 3.5 times bigger than the United States.
Big as fuck.
Show me a major diaspora of a bunch of Jews or Hebrews getting stuck in Nigeria, in Lagos, and all those places. Show me that.
Yeah.
Show me that in history when that happened.
Oh,
What does Hebrew mean?
Uh,
What does the word Hebrew mean?
so I don't know. Shit, let's look it up.
So
To pass over.
Oh, to pass over.
there's a one dude was like, and it says in Deuteronomy we'd be taking those ships. But I was like, well, if you look at Egypt, I was like, maybe at that time when they went to slavery in Egypt, they was just talking about slave ships to Egypt. They was like, no, they ain't going slave ship to Egypt. I was like, if you pull up a map of Egypt and Palestine, it's water right there. Either A, you could put niggas on ships and just bring them across the water, or are you going to walk them all the way up to the top of Africa and come all the way down?
No.
Right. You're not finna do that because you had the Sudan.
Man,
You had the
them niggas be
desert.
saying they built the pyramids and shit, man. I ain't trying to hear shit.
I mean,
Them
I ain't mad.
niggas-
I'm
them
not.
niggas be dressed up like Power Rangers on the block downtown.
I ain't gonna do that.
Yelling at niggas walking by. So word them up. Right over there by Williams Chicken. Niggas be, read, brother. Niggas, shut the fuck up, you stupid ass.
No, you know what, bro? I respect what they believe
Hey,
in.
man,
It's cool
yeah,
to
we
how you
respect
believe.
y'all, man. Don't come up here.
Nah, it's cool.
They gonna be outside the shop. Read, bro.
I mean,
These
you,
niggas said they look like Power
The
Rangers.
niggas dressed up like Power Rangers.
I feel like every religion when
crazy.
I feel like every religion when you look from the outside in at it, that shit is all weird. They weird if you say they dress like Power Rangers. Sure, all of them, when people say West African and shit, they be and niggas get the crystals and herbs and all that shit. I used to think that was weird. I never thought Christianity was weird until I stepped out.
Right.
And people like Christians always talk about that's witchcraft, and I was like, wait, we eating the body of a dead man and drinking his
niggas
blood,
is weird. Yep. Y'all
drinking the
son.
blood, and that he
Flesh of my
died.
flesh, blood of my blood.
Yeah, look at that
Fucking
nigga.
weirdo.
The biggest sacrifice and all.
That's what I'm saying. Sacrificing, human sacrificing, eating bodies and drinking blood.
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
But when I was in it, this was perfectly fine. It's like, drink the little grape juice and the bread.
They don't know they vampires.
Yeah, all you know what I'm saying? Tripped out.
So I think all religions got is very eccentric when you on the outside
sure.
looking in on it.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
the Israelite bros, I mean, I get it, understand. Everybody trying to find their way, bro.
I just joke on people. I feel like,
I just think it's different.
for some
levels.
people in this lifetime that they experience, and to me, under my belief, like Hebrew Israelite might be what's for you. Christianity might be what's for you. You might supposed to be a Jehovah's Witness. Whatever that is that you need in order to exude your best character, you know what I'm saying, and walk that path through life with your moral compass or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's on you as an individual. Like you said, like, just don't try to put that on me. And what I choose to believe and walk in, I'm not going to try to put on you.
But like I say, man, once again, man, the subconscious mind is only going to give you what you put into it.
But this might be all they supposed to
That's what I said.
experience, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, I'm a Hebrew Israelite to desire.
Go, Power Rangers.
Hey, I just challenge everybody, regardless of what you believe in, just vet it. It's okay to make sure you believe what you believe in.
Right.
I don't think everybody possesses the capability to honestly do that, though.
They don't,
Like,
because
from the perspective that you done came from is something I admire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, but I don't
But
think
you can tell
everybody-
that, like, you've been.
everybody can do that.
In the sense, man, some snapped in you, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it might have been some higher power or higher part of your consciousness or whatever snapped.
You know what I think it
And
was?
he was able to see. He was able to
He
see.
said what it was.
What?
He saw God.
Yeah, he said
He didn't know he saw God, but he saw God work. And he was like, poof, ever since.
right.
it could be. And I'm not knocking it. Like, I'm not an anti-God, and I'm not pro-God. I'm just... For this
I would
moment.
say,
You are
I
where
would say,
you are.
I would say what people call God, because I think that even when you say the word God, what pops up in the average person's mind is not what.
Yeah, they ain't
what
even
God
worthy.
is,
They ain't
you know
even
what I'm
worthy of that word.
As soon as you say God, people try to figure out what book you're talking about.
saying?
Right.
Right.
There's many gods. Which one you talking about?
Yeah, they try to figure out what book you subscribe to. For me, it's just like, man, I'm the freest I ever been.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I feel like I could be the most honest with my wife
Right.
about how I feel, the things I want to do.
Oh, that freedom feels so good, don't
It does, bro. Because so long I was under the bondage of living for God of the Bible, and I wanted to change. Like, you remember when I said I got saved at 13 and I changed my life and gave it to Christ? The fuck was I giving at? What type of life was I living at 13? Did I have to
sacrifice yourself? But you sacrificed.
I was
yourself.
a kid, and I got a grown person that's a youth pastor telling me that
you
I
was willing to
hell.
sacrifice yourself.
Knowing what we know now, right?
Yeah, don't go to the light.
You talking about him being in the inner city, and this tripped me out because Carlson say this too, because y'all not from the South,
right?
So we grew up with mad crackers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crackers everywhere. We outnumbered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But imagine being in an area where it's basically only, he said he ain't see no white people.
Yep.
But the white people was pulling up on the bus to take niggas to church.
Like him telling that
he
story
said she was an
was
alien.
the same shit happened
Because
to
I
us.
remember you saying that.
Facts.
I used to go to
Same
the
shit.
church, right?
Same shit, bro.
But I guarantee you would never catch them doing that in no white neighborhood.
Hell no.
When they come knocking my door, I ask them that. What are you doing? Why are you not going to get your people?
Right.
Why are you not trying to recruit your people into Christianity?
Y'all ain't got nobody.
You always
saving.
in my people neighborhood trying to take us to Christianity.
Now,
Because you need it.
What's up with that?
You need it, nigga.
but I will say this about the church. Number one, it saved a lot of our lives.
Yeah.
Oh no, for
It
sure.
gave us something to do on
It's a
Wednesday.
show.
I tell people all the time it's a great foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But then if you get that epiphany to move around and some higher being a God or whatever you want to call it, something's gonna give you something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're gonna move around because I was damn near a deacon at church.
There you go.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Oh hell yeah!
I didn't know that.
I was made deacon status. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Until that nigga said we was Gentiles, that's where they went all wrong with me. It's like nigga, I ain't no motherfucking Gentile.
Take it no more.
I don't want to be no Gentile. Those some scrub ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. I was like, I can't do this shit with y'all no more. I turned in my whole shit. I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas teaching lies.
Yeah,
That shit
man.
crazy.
But I think religion is a cancer.
That's deep.
It's a cancer. It's manipulative. It's all about controlling. And if you think a majority of the wars, well, I'll take that back. The majority of wars is fought over money under the guise of religion.
There you go.
Yeah.
For sure. Religion can be a beautiful thing.
Right.
But we just got to get away from trying to impose. Because most people wouldn't go to church if they really figured out that hell don't exist. Because, I mean, that's what you need Jesus for.
Hey, niggas is scared, Jack.
No, I feel them,
I
though.
know that's how they got us,
I got
too.
one more question for you, though.
Back in the
I feel
day.
it.
One more question for you. So, do you feel like the youth today have your mentality about what's going on in the world, as far as like what's going on in the world and how they view religion?
Yeah, I think, yes. I think the youth in a lot of ways are on a good path because they're open. They're you,
And they don't have no fear.
they have no fear, and they don't care if you a dude that dress like a girl who like girls that dress like a dude that both dress that date dudes. That shit don't mean
I
nothing
don't
to
even know
them.
what you just
Doesn't
said.
to
but
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. You see how confusing for
Such a
us.
different world.
It's a different world.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we may do one dude that was gay, and we start seeing girls that were gay, but now we in a world where it's becoming genderless. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And
okay,
for
yeah.
us, it's still kind of shocking when you see an obvious dude dressed like a woman. It's still kind of shocking. Like I just did an interview with Sydney Starr.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the younger generation, that's common. To them, it's genderless. It's do you, be you. You got white friends. Hip hop is the greatest freedom fighter, probably one of the greatest freedom fighters we've seen.
Factory.
Because it's bringing everybody of all color and creeds together.
The best religion, too.
There you go. But
real.
I think they're free.
If we going into this perpetual cycle or whatever, going into the fourth and fifth dimension, you know what I'm saying? We might leave this body, this flesh, you know what I'm saying, and be just light beings or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be dope.
So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know what we going. From a body standpoint, what we're gonna be. Motherfuckers might be. You know what I'm saying? Multi-gender type beings or something.
But I ask myself all the
what I'm saying?
time, like, why do we get mad when other people choose the sexuality and lifestyle they choose? We get
That's a
offended.
Christian. That's a Christian.
Because it's not
mind frame
Christ-like.
about that.
That's what I was
right.
going to say.
Because I look at Boosie, I be like, why do you care? But I understand, as a man, you don't want your son to be. Because I was talking to somebody about that today. I was like, I wouldn't really care if my son was gay. That's on him. He got to live his own life. But every man who has a son, you know he your son, but when he get grown, that become your boy. That become your dog.
Yeah.
I want to see him live his life, the type of women he be, you know what I'm saying, the type of lifestyle he live. I don't want my son to be feminine. I don't want him to come in. I'm scared my son, before he talk to me, he smack his lip like, so dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that shit. I don't want that. If he chooses that, I'm gonna still love him. I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna be talking shit like, damn, son, so you just out here sucking dick. God damn. You know, like, damn, so that's what you like, how you just.
Disclaimer on this.
That's what you do. Okay, well, shit.
Because I got a 2-year-old, so being a 3-year-old now, you know what I'm saying? So I'm on that same kick. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro, look. Man, he got sisters too, so you know what I'm saying? So shit, he see them with a little girly backpack on. He think he supposed to put that motherfucker on too. Yeah. I'm like, no, bro.
I would tell you.
Like, no.
I would tell you a story about my son.
That's for girls.
we was in Ohio at my wife's best friend's house, and she got girls, and it was a pile of girl toys on the floor, bunch of Barbie dolls and cars and stuff. But I wasn't gonna tell him he couldn't play with it. But I just want to watch
to see what he
so
gonna do.
watching him, he over there, he looking through the toys. I'm like, man, he about to play with these damn dolls. Then all of a sudden he said, look, Dad, nigga found a red Corvette at the bottom of that pile. Like, look, Dad. In my head, I was like, hell yeah. I said, hell yeah. I ain't have to say nothing. I ain't never conditioned him. This a clean slate.
Did the nigga put the Barbie doll in the red Corvette?
He was like, forget that he read mine, or he just knew something was gonna be at the bottom for it. And that's him, man.
Yeah, that's how my son was too, man. He like Credible Hook and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, good.
At the end of the day, I just don't want my son to get fucked. That's it. I mean, if you gonna be gay, do the fucking, fam. Just don't be getting fucked, fam.
This thing is wild.
So, make sure you.
Let me ask you this.
Make sure you beep this shit out.
Oh, my bad, bro.
With that shit out.
Was you molested by a woman young?
Nah.
Okay.
The reason why I say that though, think of the words that's offensive, and I know y'all gotta bleep this out. But fuck you. The reason why fuck you is so submissive is because somebody fucking you in the submissive role.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to be fucked is to be feminine, to be.
No, you can't say that. You can say submissive.
Submissive.
You try to fuck our show up.
Yeah, you gotta relax.
Submissive.
Say it too. Can't disrespect the queens like that.
But they do
Why
can't
you let that nigga say?
But women get fucked. That's what they be like. Fuck me. That's what you don't see. I mean, some dudes may use that vernacular, but for the most part, women use that.
But to get fucked does not mean to be feminine. Yeah, that's it. Because sometimes they be fucking us too, right?
I mean, if you want to look at it that way, they only can do so much.
They do a lot.
I don't think I've ever.
Are you a woman hater too?
I'm not.
You married though, right?
I'm married.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, whoa.
I'm just saying, in the bedroom, you think about it.
They be doing a lot.
She can ride, and she can throw it back.
She can fuck back no matter what position she in. Now she might be lazy. We might have to learn her something. But she possesses the ability.
If you look at majority of the positions in sex, it's predicated on us controlling. Missionary is us. From the back is still us. We could take over that. The only thing, the only position that can really control is
it depends on how you doing it. Because I want the one that's gonna take over from the back. She's going to destroy me. I might have to.
You just stand there. She can try to throw it back, but that's you allowing her to do that. The only position a guy is truly submissive when it comes to sex is when he on his back. The rest of it is us dictating and driving the show. But at the end of the day,
I have nothing to do with this conversation.
Yeah, I was just going to say, hey, that's him, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And I love it. I love women. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just don't want my son to be the one.
No, I feel you. I
think that's my biggest fear with gay. And so smacking his lip, dad, and getting his back blew out. I was like, damn, but if that's what you like.
Hey, bro, and you know what? That's a real thing. That's a real thing for us who got young sons. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's going on in society right now.
To me, it's not even that deep about society. I want my son to be my partner. So when I hang out with my partners,
I'm talking about them, even when they watching certain TV shows and. I mean, it's
he's saying society can influence young men.
It can influence
I don't
young
know, bro.
men.
How
to
you
go that
almost
way.
got influenced to suck a dick before?
No, I don't believe. I don't believe
seen
that.
that.
But some people mind is not as impressive.
But we didn't have movies
I also
that had
wouldn't
sex.
do dumb shit with my niggas that was in the street.
We didn't have, but
You know what I'm saying?
but listen, we didn't have movies where they just openly having sex with man on man.
Everybody not strong minded though. That's the issue. You could come ask me to do some. We was in high school and the niggas came. All my partners was older than me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a sophomore. All my partners is seniors. I'm in spring football. They got fourth period. They can go home, right?
Got you.
They came to me one day and was like, "Hey, we finna go to DeSoto and drop these niggas. And I'm on my way to fourth period." I was like, "Right now?" They was like, "Yeah." I'm like, they in school right now.
Yeah.
They was like, "Yeah, we finna walk through we gonna walk through the field house and beat them niggas ass." Oh, okay, I'll be right here if y'all get back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That
for sure.
shit sound dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Dumb as
going to do no dumb shit. But some more niggas went though. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they easily impressionable. So some people gonna be swayed and some people not gonna be swayed.
I just feel like gay homosexuality is about as common as straight. Everywhere in history,
I
it's been
believe
there.
that too.
It's nothing though.
I say that I believe the problem with the black community is we don't accept bisexual men. So we got way more men in the closet than out in the open, and that's what create all the danger with the passing of the STDs and shit because these niggas that go both ways,
Right.
that shit is still looked down upon. You can be openly gay, but we don't accept a man that like men and women. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that shit exists way more frequently than
For sure.
we would like to accept. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you seeing it, football players coming out as gay. I had a teammate in college, Southside Chicago, would have played defensive back. Would have never known. I ain't gonna say his name. It's one guy, but you would have never known he was gay.
Bro, how you feel like you can be on the team in the locker room with an openly gay nigga?
Hey, bro, I'm handsome. I understand.
What? Wait, what?
I ain't worried about it.
Oh,
People want me, man. I ain't worried about it. Hey, when you beautiful, when you beautiful, man, you know that come with the territory. I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That
You're not
shit
gonna
crazy.
touch me.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
no, we're not worried about it.
That's where you go
I
wrong.
mean, I don't from my personal experience either way. They don't, and that's what make niggas weird to me. Like, bro, a gay man know if you gay or not. You know what I'm saying? Gay niggas is not going around shooting at straight.
Shit,
niggas.
go to Atlanta.
What, gay niggas just shooting at straight niggas?
What
in Atlanta?
nigga go to Atlanta? Them niggas aggressive.
And the women are accepting them too.
But this the thing
Accepting
though.
them to
Ain't most
go-
niggas in Atlanta gay?
They got a very. It's like gay Mecca for black men.
So I think they just so used to being able to interact with men that if you there, they probably feel like you cool with that. Just in that environment. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? I don't know. A gay nigga ain't never
got
shot at
nothing
me.
to say,
So I
man.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I ain't never noticed
You know
for
what
me
I'm
either.
saying? I don't know about
Shit, but
that
know I
shit
am
would you be
weird,
offended?
man.
Yeah, I would.
Nah, because you don't know me. If you don't know me, you don't know me.
But it's kind of one of those things. But what is it about me that made you feel like?
Man, I was in New York.
I don't think it's.
you know what I'm
Cause
saying? Like,
look, you can.
I was living in
you
New
can,
York.
You can shoot at a woman and she be a straight up lesbian and you don't know that.
Now,
You
listen,
just seen a
listen
woman.
to this story.
Should she be
listen to this
offended?
story. This shit's crazy. I'm living in New York, right?
Yeah.
The chick that won some film with Sanaa Lathan, right? And we all at this house. We sitting at the table. It's 2 women, 2 guys. And it's a big party at this house in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the white guy, he was on the front page. He was on Famous Artist. He was on the front page of the fucking New York Times and shit. So everybody was partying and talking about that shit. And they had this big ass punch bowl. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was getting their drink out of there. You know, getting the cup and getting their drink and shit out of there, right? This dude sitting next there, he across from me. He say, "Man, I just feel like sucking some dick."
Whoa.
Nigga, I'm looking around the room like, I know this nigga ain't saying this. I know there's 2 fucking females in here too. I'm looking like, I know this motherfucker ain't saying this shit to me.
You the only other nigga
I'm
there?
only a nigga in the room.
He looking at him in his eyes.
Nigga, I immediately get crunk. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I turn all the way up, nigga. I was like, nigga, you got me. Then you know I used to have the short cut, the no hair on the face. I look like a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this nigga looking at me like I'm just
He's a white boy.
white boy. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, I just feel like sucking some dick tonight. I said, man, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Hey, bro.
Council was wrong.
Nigga, for real, this shit is real, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, shit blew my mind, man. You know what I'm saying?
They pause. You gotta pause that after saying that. But look,
Man, listen, man,
that-
you gonna run
that-
into some real crazy
in
shit.
that scenario, he might get his ass beat.
Why though? This is like why?
Nah, bro. I ain't gonna
No, you asked me if I was ever offended. I said, yeah, I got
Why you offended?
I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know how well I will react in them. That's one of the moments, bro, where
I did not react well.
cause you know I'm
react
a
well,
light
bro.
switch nigga. So with that, I either probably would have died laughing, or I'd have fucking snapped.
Nigga, I talk.
Oh
Nah,
my
man, I
talking
got
all kind of shit.
me a long time ago, and I'm gonna say this because my camera gonna die here in a little bit. But a long time ago, the homie had a gay cousin. We was in Compton, and his cousin they had a barbecue. They used to throw at a picnic for their birthdays and shit. Say celebrating together, a bunch of gay niggas all there, all that type of shit. He used to make this punch pause, and like niggas loved it in the hood. We used to pour that shit. You know, we was young, we couldn't buy alcohol. Long story short, we got to go to him to get it. It's at the gay picnic. He telling us the whole time, nobody's gonna fuck with y'all. They know y'all niggas not gay. Lies, nigga, all lies, all lies, nigga. As soon as niggas got out the car, it's like nigga, you could hear the DJ damn near stop the turntables damn near. I'm like, bro, come on, my nigga. So you know, we was there, and they all took their shots. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he probably hyped y'all up when he got the phone like, hey, yeah, nigga, I got these badass niggas about to pull up. They
These
gay.
badass.
These niggas, hell yeah.
They young.
That's fucked
Then you
up.
got the one nigga that
They
be
young too.
the one nigga that probably lied on you like, yeah, and the nigga that's coming, he be going too. He be going.
You got a chance with that nigga.
That nigga young too.
I seen a twinkle in his
That
eye.
shit
Hey,
is
wait,
fucked
he had them
up,
niggas
man.
ready. Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
hey
so
man, shout out to we gotta close the show.
Okay, that's cool. But I just wanted to say, I said that New York is very progressive.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna run into shit like that, like you said, Atlanta and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just gotta accept these dudes, man. Keep it moving.
Hey man, all I want to say, man, I appreciate y'all, boy. This
We
is dope.
appreciate you coming through.
Yeah,
man.
already, man.
You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? Real dope.
Hey, the moral of the story is, you know, no matter what you do, no matter what you believe in, what your way of life is, you know what I'm saying? If that's what's best for you, you do that, keep that to yourself. That's whether that's homosexuality, your religion, Rakim Abdul-Jabbar is your favorite rapper. You don't have to try to push that on other people. Just keep that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do what's best for you. What you eat don't make me shit.
Facts.
It's the Nubian spot. Peace.
Peace.